Stranger Things is now over with 5 seasons as its final count. Now, all of these seasons are absolutely great. There is not a single bad season, and almost all of these seasons are 10 out of 10. So with that said, whatever is in last place, which for a lot of people is going to be controversial, is still good. I still absolutely love whatever is in last place. But since there are so many good seasons of Stranger Things, it is almost impossible to rank. So I'm going to be separating a lot of these seasons with just a very minor nitpick, but just for a point of context, basically all of them are ranked as even. It really just depends on the day, whatever one I feel like rewatching, but as of right now, as of my last rewatch of the entire show, this is my ranking. It can change at any point in time, but for my final ranking of Stranger Things, this is what I have. Now, like I said, this bottom spot is very controversial because you either love or find it your least favorite for Stranger Things Season 3. For me, it is my least favorite. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I still absolutely love this season. What I love most about it is just the vibe of the season. It's the 4th of July, so the 80s feel that this show does such a great job at bringing is best felt through this season, mostly because it is the 4th of July theme, and that theme is most relevant to the 80s, so this season just feels the most 80s vibe of it all. And that 80s vibe is what Stranger Things is best known for, bringing back that vibe of what the 80s actually were. And the season is just a lot of fun. We get new characters like Robin and Erica, we get the whole Russian storyline, we get tons of humor with the Murray stuff too. This season is just overall really fun. But like I said, since we're basing it off nitpicks in order to rank this stuff, I just feel like that this season to me is the most disconnected from the rest of them. Because this was not really about the Upside Down, and the first 2 seasons kind of set up Will was stuck in the Upside Down, and then the last 2 seasons are about Vecna. This one is just really about the mind flayer and just these kids going through their girl problems, relationship problems, all of that. So to me, this one does feel the most disconnected from the rest of the show. Like I said, this is still a fantastic season. I just find the other seasons to be sweeter, bolder, better. And that's where we get our newest and final season of Stranger Things, Season 5. Now, a lot of people are heavily disappointed and find this final season very underwhelming. I am not there whatsoever. I absolutely loved this season. I found it to be a great send-off to all of these characters, with the finale being very emotional, satisfying, and paying up a lot of it. To me, I would argue that this finale is the best episode in all of Stranger Things. I absolutely loved everything they did with it. From just the start to the end, you are hooked, you feel the suspense, you feel the stakes, all of it is there until the end with the very emotional send-off to all of these characters. I feel like they wrapped this entire show up in the best way possible with that finale. And even if we do look at the rest of the season, they do really great job at these character moments. They know that these are the last moments with these characters, so we have to wrap up all these character arcs. So especially Volume 2, we get emotional moment after emotional moment because it's just really setting up these characters and paying off their long character arcs that we have been waiting for the answer for. So when all of these moments do happen, the writing in those scenes is great. Nancy and Jonathan's breakup, Will coming out, all of these scenes are really well made and are really emotional. But the only thing stopping me from putting the season any higher on this list, as much as I already love it as much as I do, is Callie. Callie to me just felt pointless, felt like she was only really here for Expedition. She was an easy character to kill off, and she really was just here for Eleven's character arc because she's the only one that likes that character. Other than that though, she really has no purpose in here. She's here for Expedition. Other than that, I feel like there was a really easy way to write this character around because we did not really need her in these final few episodes. She was kind of forced in here, and that was my really main nitpick of this entire season. Other than that, the moment this season starts, we're immediately jumping into things. We feel the stakes, we feel all this rising terror, Will has powers, all of these moments absolutely paid off. We spent 4 seasons setting this all up, and to me, it absolutely delivered. I just love a lot of these seasons more, which just shows how much the show is great, if as much as I love season 5, and it's almost in last place. Now, a lot of people have season 2 in last place, which I do agree for some extent. Like I said, it really just depends on the time I'm rewatching this show. But to me, season 2 just has a vibe to it that makes me love it as much as I do. It brings the vibe of season 1 of these kids and the Goonies vibe, and especially the 80s vibe, but as a whole Halloween flair to that. That Halloween vibe is what makes the season stand out incredibly well, and combined with the vibe of season 1, I feel like both of those together just makes the season stand out for its vibe alone. In this entire season, we are consistently on the edge of our seat, wanting to press play episode after episode because we are following these characters, not knowing what is happening. The Upside Down is now coming over to the real world, and when you're watching it for the first time, you are consistently hooked to what is happening on screen. We're expanding on the characters of Hopper and Eleven's relationship. Eleven is learning about her past. We get the introduction of Max in here, which continues on to be one of the best characters of all of Stranger Things. To me, this season takes everything that works so well about season 1 and adds a Halloween flair to it, and adds a bit more suspense to it, and just makes it as great as it is. The only drawback for me is the 11 storyline. It doesn't really get too bad until that one episode that everyone skips, because it just is not good. I skipped it this time rewatching it, which could be one reason why season 2 is higher for me than normal, but if you skip that one episode, this entire season flows really nicely, especially with the finale. Those last 2 episodes of this season really topped the cake for me. Season 2, very underrated, and I consider it a rewatch if you guys have not seen it in a while, because a lot of moments in season 2 are some of my favorite moments in all of Stranger Things, like the F-Log of season 2 when all these characters are dancing. To me, that scene is one of the best of Stranger Things and really just ties all these characters together for the first 2 seasons that we had. And the Mind Flayer is in this season. Great villain as well. This season is very underrated and has so much to offer that people are not giving it credit for. But the season that started it all and is still one of the best seasons of the show, season 1. Why this season works so well is, for starters, the vibe. This season has a certain vibe that when all these characters are young, we are capturing that 80s vibe, the Goonies vibe. That vibe specifically is kind of lost with the newer seasons. It's in season 2, partially in season 3, but more 4 and 5, this vibe is completely gone, and if you go back and rewatch season 1, it has a vibe, is very noticeable because it's not in any other season. Automatically, that makes it stand out a lot because these kid characters and all of that, with Joyce missing her kid, we're very much setting up everything to come. When you're first watching this, you want to press play after every single episode because you don't know what is happening. Just the mystery throughout this entire season is what I love most about it. You don't know what a Demogorgon is, you don't know what the Upside Down is, you don't know where Will went, and this mystery throughout it all, introducing these characters, the Demogorgon, all these different things to a new audience member, all of that is really intriguing to watch. I have no problems with the season, only that compared to the newer seasons, the stakes are a lot more lower, it's a lot more grounded, but that's also, at the same time, what is so great about this season? You never want to stop watching it, and it's such a great season to rewatch because the mystery is there. All of it is there to make this such a great season. I just love the one in first place a lot more. But to me, my favorite Stranger Things season is going to be season 4. Mostly because the stakes are absolutely huge. We get the introduction to Vecna, we get the introduction to the big bad, and just from the very first episode, there's a certain edge to it all, where you feel that something is off, because these characters are grown up now. They're not quite having the same vibe that they used to have in seasons 1, 2, 3, because they're all separated. And since these characters are all separated, we have multiple different storylines all happening at the same time. For how long these episodes are, they fly by so incredibly fast. Every single episode is basically a movie, and you want to press play after every single episode ends because it hooks you in every single time. Eddie is one of my favorite characters in all of Stranger Things. It sucks that they killed him off, but he is one of my favorites. This season, though, just has so much stakes. You get the introduction of Vecna. Max almost dies. Technically, she does die. And when we finally do get to the finale, all these stakes are through the roof. You feel everything that is happening through the screen. This one does a great job at setting up the finale and really just shows what we were in for Season 5. Finally answering a bit more of the questions, introducing more of Eleven's backstory. This season was essentially everything I wanted out of it. But like I said, my ranking can change depending on the day. Seasons 1 and 4 kind of swap depending on the day. But nonetheless, Season 4 I still love and is my favorite season of all of Stranger Things. If you like this video, maybe these ones on the sounds to you too, like, subscribe. See you guys next time. Goodbye.